But we were mesmerized by this move A4. I'm pretty sure that this is your opening preparation. How far did you know?
I guess, the computer liked this move. But in general, like white is, the main ideas in this position is for white to play on the queen side. And, black can either play A5 here or queen B4. And actually on queen B4, I kind of improvised because, I knew there was this bishop E2, knight E5, knight D3 idea, but I was like, okay, I kind of want to start with king A1 because it's useful pretty much in every position. And that way there's like none of this like knight C4, knight A3 business, right? It really discourages that. So that was me basically like disagreeing with the computer and, trying my own thing. But eventually I went to the, bishop E2 plan.
Oh, so king B8. And we had a feeling that everything went your way in this game. It was a very clean game, so your opponent failed to find any counterplay.
Yeah, well, of course, during the game it felt a lot more complicated. Like, okay, the move F5 really surprised me because it looks very anti-positional, but a few moves later, then I was kind of questioning that. I was like, oh, okay, she's improving this light square bishop. Maybe I somehow messed up. I think her main idea in F5 is if I go, for example, G5, I think she's going for F4. Yeah, that's, for example, a nice point of her move that she's going to be improving the bishop. If I take, there's bishop F5, bishop D3, and then it takes, I have to take with the rook, and at least like rook H F8, and basically I have a lot of weak pawns, and so I didn't want to go for that. So it wasn't like so simple for white to just take the dark squares. So I played knight E5. She played knight D7, knight D3. Here was like a really big thing for me after queen D6, because again I was thinking, should I go for G5 and allow her to play H6? And basically, for example, H6, let's say I go H4, let's say takes, G5, rook H1, and then basically like, let's say queen E7, all right? So this, okay, I see the computer wants me to just give away the G5 pawn. That wasn't so obvious, because basically on F4, bishop G8, she has some play against E3, and I wasn't so sure about this position, and that's why I had a really long think. I went for A5, and then I kind of realized, okay, she wants to take on G4, play H5. That seems reasonable. We can go there, and she took with a knight. Yeah, I'll tell you what I think was my best move of the game. What's coming up?
We like the knight.
Yeah, knight A4. Like, okay, that's pretty standard. So she went for this, and then I think this rook HG1 was like kind of important. Because I have some choices. I can take on G6, but I think this move, it's funny because at this point I was like, oh, my conception has worked out, right? Like I hadn't been so sure, but at this point I was like, this is really quite nice. And after knight E4, white just has like a huge choice of how to play. A6, B6, and I'll just tell you the other big line that I thought about after A6, B6. I was thinking about F3 here, with the idea like knight G3, because knight F2 doesn't work, and then, I was looking at E4, and I thought this was really good. She kind of has to play knight H5, I'm probably going to win a pawn, so it's kind of like a question of choosing, between this position, and here I was even going to go like bishop C2 and then E5, and it was a question of like choosing between this position and the other one, and it was quite a difficult choice because they're both good.
But here your opponent is completely deprived of any counterplay, so you converted.
I have to say rook DG1. My technique was not so bad here because at first I was just going to take the pawn, but then I realized like no, I should not just make automatic captures. I think Yasser taught me that one. On our walk we discussed the fact that maybe I should see some kind of intermediate moves first, and B4, like that whole thing worked out quite well. So it looked like my technique was all right here.
Yes, and Irina, one question once again. If you wouldn't be a chess player, what job would you choose?
Well, I've always enjoyed writing, so that's one possibility. And when I was little, I had this idea that I could also be a lawyer, because in general, I like arguing, I like digging for the truth, analytical thinking, and I think I got that sort of pit bull style, you know, that would work for law.
Thank you very much, Irina, and congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Our congratulations as well, Irina.